Alright boys, in this video I'm going to show y'all why having systems is the key for you to be rich. Pappiq, aka Quan, is a multi-millionaire at only the age of 23. He's also made multiple clothing brands and YouTube channels that's easily worth over 7 figures. But what if I told y'all I was the mastermind behind his success? Well, I'm SAWEB and I'm the creative mastermind behind Quan's Cozy. Now Cozy is easily worth over 7 figures. In this video I'm going to break down into 2 sections on how I made that possible. In the first section I'll be showing y'all what skills to gather to become a successful brand owner or creative director. With that being said, let's get into the video, but let me show y'all how I even started. My name is Michael. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. First, I was just a regular kid, played Fortnite, playing games, whatever. I knew school wasn't for me at a young age. I told my parents that, and to this day they tell everybody that. I had that feeling that I was gonna do something way bigger than what I was doing at the time, which was literally working a 9 to 5, or if I wasn't working a 9 to 5, I worked at 1 9 to 5 and I was at McDonald's. And it was not it. I did not like it. I did not like doing none of that. So then I worked with my mom. My mom has a furniture business, and I worked that till I was 9 years old, all the way till I was 17. Yeah, I started with $40 a weekend. Literally, it was $40 a weekend, and then on weekdays I was getting paid $40, so $80 a week. That was insane. This wasn't for me. And I always knew I could draw. I was always a creative person. That's just what I am. I've just always been a creative mind. So I always wanted to do something creative, but I just didn't know what it was, and I was lost. I feel like a lot of people in that age, that 14 to 17-year-old, don't know nothing. You're lost. You don't know what you're doing. So I decided to start early, and I made my first sketch in a classroom. I didn't sell anything my first 7 months of business. I was down negative $2,000, $3,000. And mind you, that's all how much I saved from when I was 9 years old all the way to 16 years old. So all my life savings was gone. Just noticing that nothing's going on, bro. I'm not selling anything. Again, I'm making content. I'm making hella content. I'm taking pictures in the backyard. I'm getting ambassadors like my friends. I didn't know no famous people, nothing. I didn't know nothing. So I was like, okay, how can I do this? So I remember TikTok just started popping, and I started making TikToks, and that's how I got my first sales, and that's how I got everything. I got my first sales literally 2 days into making TikToks. I had 80K views, which was literally, that's like 8 million today. I had 80K views on TikTok. I was in driver ed class, and my notifications kept going off, bro. It kept going off, and I thought it was a troll. I thought someone would hack my site, but nah, I sold out everything. I went from not selling anything my first 7 months to selling out in 48 hours with TikTok. So boom, I'm 16, 17 years old, and I just dropped my biggest drop to date, which was the Peachtree hoodie. I accumulated over $250,000 in sales with just that hoodie alone, and that made me have traction in the clothing brand industry. Literally the day after that drop, Quan DM'd me and followed me. He only had 8K followers. This was before Quan was even a thing. He hit me up asking for help one day, asking to make a clothing brand because he wanted to capitalize all the success off his YouTube channel, which was going crazy at the time. He went from 8K followers to 84K followers in the span of a month of me talking to him. He called his fan base Cozy, and after that it was raps. At first he wanted to copy the Peachtree hoodie, and it was gonna be Pappiq GLE all over it, but I already made it and I didn't want him to take swag. So then I was like, let's make our own trend. We were both trying to make our own trend, and that's when we came with the puff print rhinestone with the pointed hood to copy the Peachtree hoodie, as y'all can see here. With that being said, it took me a week to come up with these hoodies because I wanted to make something nobody else was doing while also staying with the trend at the time. So why not just put everything together? Puff print was trending, but nobody really, like no big person was really on puff print. And rhinestones weren't a thing back then, so I mastered both of them together to make the Cozy hoodie that y'all now know of today. There was many ups and downs in the cycle, sampling, etc. It took us a few months to get everything perfect, but once it was, we knew that we had something on our hands. With that being said, I shipped out the samples to Quan once I did my thing with the mock-ups, etc. And then now he just promoted it, and after that, it was over. These systems is what helped us reach the keys to success. First of all, having a good site, a good, clean site. Don't do too much with the 3D animations or anything. You leave that for the password page. You want to keep the site, the home page, very, very minimal and very, very clean. 2, having a good menu is everything. We messed up with having a bad menu our first job, which would made us delay, would made us look like scammers the first job. But after that, we got everything in order and it made it perfectly. 3, building a personal brand is not only key, but really is a strong point into success as an entrepreneur or as a clothing brand owner, period. Like Pharrell, Human Made, Virgil, Off-White, Kanye, Yeezy. Everybody had a personal brand before they made a big brand, and that's why Cozy was such a success with Quan, and that's why Quan is such a success. He built his personal brand to branch off into the clothing brand space, which I helped him with, and now we're multi-millionaires in our 20s. And I did all this before I turned 21, before I could even take a shot. So what makes y'all think y'all can't do it either? With that, you guys can replicate my success, which leads into section 1. Now I'll talk about what skills you need to become a successful creative director and generate success like me and Quan did. The first and most important skill is you need to be somewhat creative when it comes to having a certain vision or mindset. Not only can you be creative visually and artistically, you need to be creative business-wise, ads-wise, and a whole bunch of other lanes that you're gonna unlock while in the journey to being a successful businessman. Or you could be creative and know how to sell. So you could be a creative businessman or a creative salesman, stuff like that. When it comes to the brands I work with, I'm overly creative when it comes to advertisement, rollout, the collection, everything. I like to overdo everything and make sure everything is on schedule. So if you don't have the confidence in your creativity or ability to sell, then this might not be for you. The second skill is to take note of trends and know what's gonna be trending before it becomes mainstream. So you need to be ahead of the game and ahead of the curve. If you know what's trending all the time, you'll know how to adapt and let alone be ahead of the game. Like I was saying, with that Virgil 6% rule, it's not 3, it's 6. You need to add nostalgia also with the trend because that's an undefeated duo. A lot of fashion houses do that. A lot of designers, big brands really do that. They just don't say it. But that 6% rule is really what it is. So let me break down the 6% rule. Virgil's 3% rule is you take what's trending and add your 3% to it. So you don't do too much, but also you add your own spike to it. What really is you add it's the 6% rule. Well, it's SAWEB's 6% rule. It's really Virgil's, but I'm gonna take it as SAWEB's 6% rule because not only do you add your 3%, you also wanna add 3% of a nostalgia or a late trend from the 90s, 2000s, 80s, like an old trend back then. You want to add that to that and you have an undefeated product. Every time I design for someone or a creative director for someone, that's literally their #1 collection ever. So you have to really be into this. Like your For You page really got to be designs and all that. Cause I knew about pearls way back then. I knew about rhinestones way back then. Again, I made TikTok, like bro, I made rhinestones on hoodies with the washes and acid wash. Like I was the main person making them at the time before it really became a trend. And now look where I'm at. I did so much work and so much studying to where now I'm the teacher. Being a creative director, you can add your own. It's your brand for the month. It's your brand for the job. Literally, it's like, bro, I could freestyle this. I could do this. I could try this, and it's gonna work because you just confident. Well, I'm confident in my work, so I know it's gonna work. I have yet to flop. With that being said, you also want to get out that little square as a clothing brand. Like Shopify payments, yeah, it's smooth, but you're waiting 5 to 10 days, business days, just to get your payment. Like that's not how it should work. Then they also take a percentage, the whole reserve funds and this, that, and third. And a lot of customers lie about not getting their product because that's just what they are. That's what they do. So they're gonna take your money, hold your money, this, that, and third. So having a third-party provider is perfect. If you want to get a third-party provider, make sure to comment third-party provider or DM me third-party provider and I'll put you on. Like I said, it's like Zelle. So my third-party provider, this comes with, only a few people know about this that I mentor and this, that, and the third. But basically, it's like Zelle, but it's way better. So you get 100 chargebacks, they will not hold your money. And if they do hold your money, it's a 3% reserved. And they let go of everything else. You know what I'm saying? They take 3%. 2, they add on their percentage, so they don't take money from your cart. So say the cart order is $100, they'll add $3 to it, so it's $103 because it's 3%. They add 3% to the cart, so they don't take any of your money, which is goated. 3, on drop day, when you do drop, say you do 100K drop day, that will go into your account literally the next day. Literally the next business day, it goes in your account, and they're only off on Sundays. So Friday, Saturday, you could drop and it'll literally hit your account the next day without no fees, no holds, none of that. That's why I love my third party. I even got the owner's number. We in a group chat and he updates me on everything, etc. So for the mentors, I send them a link that they could go through, etc. Because it's invite only. But with my mentorship, you get that for free. You know what I'm saying? I ain't stop talking about my mentorship, Andre. What else? So a big crucial step is surrounding yourself with like-minded people and people that motivate you, bro. Comparison is the devil, bro. Like if you surround yourself with like-minded people, you shouldn't compare yourself. Motivate yourself. If you compare yourself, it's automatically gonna make you feel less of yourself, etc. And that's not good business-wise or in general. So surrounding yourself with like-minded people really helps with not only your growth, your business growth, and also your mental growth. The right friend group will show you there's no limit to your success and there's no limit to what you're dreaming about. Like for instance, when I met Quan, he only had one car and it was the Hellcat. Now he has 7 cars and I didn't even have a car. I remember when I was car shopping, he was like, bro, just go Trackhawk or whatever. I was like, nah, bro, I want something that I've been dreaming about. If I'm gonna go get my first car, I'm gonna get my dream car just like how you did. My dream car was a Brabus, anything Brabus. Like, I just loved Brabus. I seen it when I was in a book as a little kid. I seen it in a car book and I was like, bro, I needed this car. And I ultimately brought my dream car, which is a Brabus GLE Coupe 800 Rocket. Gave me a mindset that I thought I was never gonna have if I never met him. Like, he taught me how to stay down till you come up. He also taught me to be very patient. Everything's not gonna happen tomorrow, but eventually if you work for it, it can happen tomorrow. Same thing with Autumn. When I met him, he had a Trackhawk, and now he has a Ferrari, a GT3 RS, and so many other cars that I don't even know about. Them two teed me up to where I wanted to make my own success and make my own way. So instead of me being behind the scenes all the time, I decided to take social media serious, and now I'm here. I gained 37,000 followers, and that opened up so many gates to where not only am I talking to y'all, I'm also talking to people I never thought that I would talk to a day in my life. So with that being said, having a good friend group is number one. Cut your day ones off, bro. Unless your day ones are on the same mindset, which is very, very unrealistic, I suggest cut y'all day ones off, bro. I still talk to my day one, his name's Kendrick, here and there, but we're just on the same path to where it's just not gonna work. And that's just the big thing that you gotta do, bro, is you gotta cut your day ones off, and you're gonna find another friend group that's literally perfect, and you're gonna find your niche. And once you find your niche, you're gonna start getting bread and take care of your family, all that. And also another tip before this video ends is move out your hometown. Point blank period. I don't care if you live in New York, Atlanta, I don't care. Move out your hometown, because it's your hometown. Your hometown is gonna hold you back from so much success. I live in New Orleans. I'm in Vegas right now. I'm in Houston. I live in Houston. I don't want to be back in New Orleans unless I'm seeing family, etc., because New Orleans is not for me. Not only that, it's not a fashion house. That is way different from what I'm going for. And as soon as I moved out of New Orleans, in 1 year, I got a GLE, I got a Brabus GLE, a penthouse. Now I got a 2-story penthouse. I got a girl. I generated millions of dollars. I got a plaque, and I'm not even a rapper. I got a plaque from Creative Directing Ghetto Fabulous, which is Rich and Miri's album that really took him off and made him mean. Wearing 6 figures in jewelry, and it's only 2 pieces. No cap, and I'm not a rapper. And ultimately took care of me and my family. So with that being said, don't be scared to move out. Don't be scared of anything. Fear is just a fear. This is little Tony shit. Let me watch this little Tony shit real quick. Fear is a curse. Fear is not supposed to be made in humans or anything. God didn't make fear. So don't be scared of anything. You shouldn't be scared of anything in your life, because God got you. God did not make fear. So if you're scared, then it's not for you. You're not the one. You need to do it now. You need to do it as soon as you can, as soon as possible. You need to stop being scared, take the risk. And not only take the risk, do what's best for you, and it's for sure gonna pay off. You can only have yourself first. So yeah, with that being said, boys, God bless y'all, and I hope y'all have a good day.